This is a confession. It's not easy not to fret. It's not easy, even when you've gone through a situation when you've realized that, "Ah, but that issue, I shouldn't have acted the way I acted." You still face another situation where you act worse than before. Okay, what am I saying? It's not easy not to fret. It's not easy to speak to yourself the verse, "Be still and know that I'm God." It's not easy. I'll tell you what happened about 2 weeks ago. I I had a friend of mine who actually said, "Anita, come in with your products. I'll sell for you the products, and I'll call you every time I make a sale so that you come and collect the cash." And then the first time we made that deal, she would call me, and every day she would text me by the end of the day, "Anita, please come and collect your funds," and I would rush. And then I got to a week where it was quiet. And I was asking myself, what did I say to make that lady stop selling on my behalf? And I took my phone and I wanted to just text to say, "Hey, whatever I said, I'm sorry. Let's continue with the business." Because she was strategically positioned for those products. She is actually strategically positioned for those products. So it was good to have her on my team. And for a week she was quiet. And I so many times I took the phone and I wrote something, I typed something, and I would erase. And I was fretting. I was fretting. So maybe I said something. Maybe the products got stolen. Maybe I just wanted to say something and it was hard. What I'm trying to say is it was hard not to fret. Only on Monday, after about 2 weeks of not having sales from her end, on Monday she gives me a text and she says, "Anita, come and collect your come and collect your funds. We have made the sale." And when I got there, the first thing she did was she gave me the funds, of course, and but she did not ask for more products. And I was wondering, what's happening here? But I couldn't ask, and I don't know. Something just held me back. Not that I was on my best behavior, no, but I was just collecting the facts. So I kept quiet, and then she said, "You know what, Anita? Remember my niece, so and so?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I remember her." And then she said, "Ah, you know what? She passed away," and went to the funeral last week. So the whole of last week, I wasn't in the office. I wasn't coming. I wasn't reporting for duty. I was in another town for her burial. And I said, "I'm sorry." But when I got out of that place, I was so, everything that I was thinking prior her explaining why she was quiet, I didn't even think maybe she was in a bad space. I kept fretting, thinking, what did I say? What if I'd sent that message to ask why the products were not moving, and then someone was at a funeral? I hope I'm actually saying it all right. What I'm saying is, it sometimes it's not easy to be still, and yet there is so much grace in being still and knowing that God is in control. You know, there are so many times that I have thought the worst of any situation and only be embarrassed later when someone is actually explaining themselves. And I would have come up with excuses. I would have come up with just the worst of every situation. And yeah, it's a bit, because I'm still, it's a bit, it's a bit difficult because I'm still also learning about it. But now I have learned, though it's not easy, but what I'm saying is I'm trying. I've learned to be still and look for what God is doing in that moment. Being still and look at for what I look, I search. I search for what God is doing at that moment. And I have got to understand when he says, be still and know that I'm God, is to focus our eyes on the on who God is. Because without focusing our thoughts, our mind, our heart in a situation, without focusing on God and knowing who God is and how He's able, being still is hard. It is. It is. So many times I've gone back and apologized to people after I've built stories in my mind. And I have. And also last week I was going through Samuel, the book of Samuel, and the story of Saul when he decides to make sacrifices, and it wasn't in his office to do that. And he had waited for 7 days for Samuel to come, and Samuel hadn't pitched up. And soon after he has made a sacrifice, Samuel pitches up and he says, what have you done? Could the story have been different if Saul had been still and waited for God to be God in his situation?